Alright, this Xbox Series X, this came in from another shop that practices HDMI ports. And he told me that when he was doing the HDMI port, he floated a chip on the backside. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what mess that is. This screw is stripped, so let's try to remove that screw. Okay, so we will have to solder the port because it looks like they didn't even put the solder in the holes. The solder is on the side of the HDMI port, but let's get to it. Let me see my custom. Alright, so we will resolder the port. He said he did the charger, the HDMI port, but it doesn't look as good. And look at that mess, and there's that chip. We'll have to remove that chip and solder it back in its place. The way they float or overflow that chip is because they go in with heat from the bottom. I never do that. I always go from top of that HDMI from the other side. But we will go ahead and remove this chip, reball it, solder it back in, and fix these little joints so we can get more solder in them. We will also fix these little legs. We got about 19 of them. I'll go ahead and resolder them all after we fix the chip on the back side. So let's go ahead and remove this chip. Alright, we got the chip off, so we'll go ahead and fix the pads under the chip, and we'll fix the little joints, whatever they want to call them, the anchor legs. Let's go ahead and run our iron on these pads. Alright, we got them pads looking nice, so let's go ahead and reball that chip and throw it back on. Alright, that's the chip, so we're going to go ahead and reball it. I already cleaned it out. Alright, every time I reball this, I use a iPhone 6s stencil. It's one of the old stencils I got. I don't clean it much, but I always use that 6s. Let's see which one it was. Yep, so we will be using the one on the bottom right here. Just align the chip, and let's go ahead and reball it. Alright, we got that chip reballed. So let's go ahead and install it on the motherboard and test. Alright, this chip is a booster chip for the HDMI and encoder. It will also cause no power sometimes, so we will go ahead and put it here and solder it back in this place. Let me go see my customer. Be right back. That dot goes on top. Alright, that's that chip, so we'll go ahead and just move it right here on the side. Just apply a little drop of flux. Alright, and let's put the chip down. Alright, I couldn't do it on camera, but after you finish heating it up, you nudge it down from the bottom or the sides and let it shift back in its place. And then you keep a little heat on it until it settles, and then that's it. So we'll go ahead and reassemble and test. When it came in, it was crooked, and you can see two pads from the side, but right now it's sitting where it needs to be. The moment of truth, we can reassemble. Oops, before we reassemble, let's go ahead and fix this HDMI. Alright, so I cleaned the solder that was on top of this, so we'll go ahead and solder the joints and reapply solder on the pads or on these legs. So we will add solder to these joints and resolder all of these pads. Alright, we got it soldered on nicely, so let's go ahead and reassemble and test. Alright, we're not going to assemble it more than this in case something else is wrong with it. We'll go ahead and drop it in the chassis. Assembled good enough just to test. The moment of truth. Let's see if we have power. And we got power, so let's see if we got image after this. And it looks like we do. If you need this repair and you're located in Memphis, stop by. If you from out of town, you would like to ship it out, contact us at www.xlwirelessmemphis.com.